Good morning, fathers of daughters. This is FMB Martin, and welcome to Grow Dad YouTube channel. Yes, sir. We are here for another live stream, fathers of daughters, Grow Dads. I welcome you all fathers are welcome, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture. Mi amigos, bienvenidos aquí hoy. Gracias. All right, fathers, we are here for another live stream. All right, fathers, what we're going to be discussing today is teaching our daughters financial literacy. Let me repeat that, fathers. Teaching our daughters financial literacy. Yes, sir. Fathers, I believe this is a very, very important subject to be talking about today. Teaching our daughters financial literacy. Fathers, I am a grow dad of 4 adult amazing women. 4 adult amazing women, fathers. So that means that I've been through every stage of development with my daughters. Ages 36, 30, 26, and 24. So I have been through every stage of development, birth to 18 years of age, and I have taught my girls everything that I had in my arsenal. And let me tell you, financial literacy, I made sure my daughters understood what financial literacy was, and also life skills. So I made sure I took the lead on that, fathers. When my daughters were all baby girls, I live in the state of Colorado, Denver, Colorado. So when my daughters were little, we have what's called Young Americans Bank here in the state of Colorado. And when all my daughters turned 5 years of age, I opened them a savings account, put about $100 in their account, and let it draw interest. So by the time they were 8, 9, and 10, and they started taking these classes on financial literacy at the bank, Young Americans Bank, I knew my daughters were going to be good because I needed my daughters to get introduced to financial management. So what better way, since we had a Young Americans Bank here in the state of Colorado, than to have them do it, right? They offer all these classes and, on financial literacy, teaching young people about money, teaching them about credit cards, debit cards, everything, right? So it was a blessing. And I want to encourage all fathers that are out there to do the exact same thing. Whatever state you're in, all banks will have a division or subdivision of a young person's bank. And they are more than interested in teaching your children about money and the concepts of money. And also, fathers, you have YouTube. YouTube has everything. Tutorials, how-to videos, everything. There's no excuses in 2024, fathers, for our daughters not to be introduced to financial literacy, because it's social media and social media platforms have made it so easy for children to go online and do it themselves. Schools, middle schools, high schools, they're a lot different than they were when I was a child of the 70s, where we actually had business classes. Well, today you can do everything online. And I'm sure they still have some business classes at the middle school and high school level. But today's world, since everything is all about technology, you can learn about financial literacy literally from YouTube and in the comforts of your own home. You don't even have to leave. So, fathers, I have about 9 videos I want to share with you today. And they're going to be talking about financial literacy regarding our baby girls. So, fathers, I always encourage you to do your own research. Always do your own research. And, we need to expose our daughters to financial literacy, because there's still a lot of kids today that don't know how to manage money. They don't know the difference between a credit card or debit card. And fathers, that's on us. That's 100% on us. right? Birth to 18 years of age, we have a lot of responsibility for our baby girls. And I worked in the criminal justice system for 20 years, in K-12 education for 10 years. And one of the things I did when I was a state juvenile probation officer for the state of Colorado is the kids that I got on probation, I taught them about financial literacy. And I advocated for them and let them know that there's always another side. Also, when I was in K-12 education, because a lot of these children, they don't know about money management. No adult has ever sat them down and explained things to them or showed them videos or given them worksheets, to have that back and forth dialogue. So as an advocate for children for over 30 years, working with all socioeconomic backgrounds of children and their parents, I made sure that I did that myself because I have 4 baby girls. And I'm under the belief that there's always adults. It takes a village to raise these children. It does. We can't do it by ourselves. It takes an entire village. But fathers, as long as we're on the forefront of the financial literacy, our daughters are going to be okay. We just have to show them the other side and let them know the resources that are available to them. Okay? All right, fathers. So we're going to dive into these videos. The first 3 videos I'm going to show back to back to back. Actually, the first 4 I'm going to show back to back to back, fathers. Then I'll come back, give my commentary, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the videos. All right, fathers? So fathers, I welcome you. And this is my way of giving back to fathers of daughters, because one of my goals with Grow That YouTube channel is to ensure and make sure that all fathers, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture, for us to understand the sense of urgency that we must have with our baby girls. I'm a girl dad. So this is what I do, and this is how I give back to fathers of daughters. Okay, fathers, let me get this first video ready. Okay, father, video number 1.
Now teaching the youngest of kids about the basics of money. Our economics correspondent Paul Salman looks at how parents can help their children learn more about personal finance. It's part of his series, Making Sense, which airs every Thursday.
Maybe there's some candy in there.
In Arlington, Virginia, an unusual venue for little kids.
Who knows where we are now? Yeah.
America, Virginia, Washington, D.C. at the bank.
What does a bank do?
A bank gives you money and stuff.
They just hand it out?
Where
I
does,
don't think so.
No.
where does a bank get money?
I think it gets from a sock.
From a sock?
Sock?
Personal finance guru Beth Kobliner thinks kids should be learning about money early, but they're not.
I think parents are much more likely to talk about sex or drugs or alcohol with their children than they are about money.
Kobliner hopes to break the taboo with a new book, Make Your Kid a Money Genius, that continues work she's been doing for years.
Hi, Elmo. Oh, look what Elmo has.
Kobliner has been teaching key concepts in economics. She insists kids can learn them young.
What should Elmo do with all this money?
By age 3, children can understand basic money concepts like exchange, or we have to make choices, or things have value. And those conversations are important to start when kids are really little. By age 7, a lot of those behaviors having to do with money, whether it's self-control or delayed gratification, they start getting set. So those ages 3 to 7 is really kind of a nice sweet spot in which parents should be talking to their kids about money.
We gathered our own group of kids to try it out.
How do people get money to give to the bank?
My mommy and daddy work and get money. And they buy milk for me.
There you go. And you're how old? You're just 3 years old.
Another key concept all kids should know, says Kobliner, what it means to work for a living. Like here at the NewsHour.
You bring your kid to your office and they see where you work. This woman I know, she said her dad would leave every morning when she was little with a newspaper under his arm. And she thought, oh, my dad's job is reading the newspaper every day. And then years later, she found out, oh, he's a teacher. Parents say, you know how hard I work to make money for you? Mm-hmm. And kids are like, oh, I guess so.
Kobliner also advises teaching kids to internalize the non-material payoffs from work by having them do some.
Having a child do chores at a really young age, and we're talking about household chores, putting your dishes in the sink, putting them in the dishwasher, putting your clothes in the hamper, that type of thing at early ages, 3, 4, 5 years old, was one predictor of success in life.
Like getting a degree or starting a career. Kobliner also touts a trendy gimmick for teaching kids the uses of money.
There are 3 different jars here. One is for saving. This one is for
Spending.
and this one is for sharing.
The key concept here, opportunity cost. If you spend, you don't have the opportunity to save or share.
Which do you want to do? Do you want to save it?
Share.
You want to share it? What would you do? You can either save it.
Oh my gosh, I know which one.
Which one? Tell me.
I'm under the table.
Spend.
Where are you, Vera?
I'm under the table.
Those of you who ducked out of econ lectures in school might sympathize with Vera's timeout moment, but the professor, unfazed, pushed on.
So why do you want to spend it? What would you spend it on?
Minecraft toys.
Minecraft toys. Oh, interesting.
Whitley Wilkes decided to put $1 in each of the jars.
That's very interesting. Why did you do that?
Because I want to do all 3 in here.
In saving? Wow.
And what are you saving for?
College. College in high school.
Teaching kids to save, says Kobliner, is just teaching them to wait, as in the famous marshmallow experiment.
All right, here's the deal. Marshmallow for you. You can either wait, and I'll give you another one if you wait. So you can either eat it right now or you can wait. Either way.
We ran our own mental version.
Suppose I had a marshmallow in front of you now, and I said, if you don't eat it for 15 minutes, you'd eat it right away? Even though I'd say I'd give you 2 later, you'd eat it right away. What would you do?
I would wait a little while.
Could you wait?
Yep. I would play with my Legos. If there was a fire, I would just cook it.
Well, no marshmallow toasting in the actual experiment. Kids were left alone in a room with the mouth-watering morsel right in front of them. In follow-up studies, those who waited longer actually fared better in life.
They had 200 points on average higher on their SATs. They had better interpersonal relationships, and they even had lower body mass indexes.
Right.
It feels at first like, oh, it's because these kids have this strong moral fiber.
And
They're
higher IQ.
higher,
or
and they're
something.
able to resist it. But we also know now it's more the ability to distract themselves. That's an important trait to have. People who are able to have impulse control or delay gratification are able to save more money.
But how to encourage kids to delay gratification? Start, says Kobliner, by not giving in to every demand.
You know, we're going to go into the store right now, and we're only getting things we need.
That cookie's shaped like Easter egg.
Research is showing when you say yes all the time, you are basically, making it harder for your kid to experience impulse control. Just like another study found, those kids were more likely to be in debt problems because they always got what they wanted when they wanted it.
Beth is going to give you some real money.
Last stop, a bakery near NewsHour offices in Arlington, Virginia.
Do you want to save it, share it, or spend it?
We gave each kid $3.
What do you want to do?
Share it.
You want to share it? Who are you going to share it with?
Well,
Oh,
that is so sweet, Vera.
Turns out, however, that the allure of an almost $3 cupcake was irresistible.
Red velvet for you today. Thank you.
Ultimately, everyone succumbed, providing Kobliner with a segue to another of her concepts.
is it better to buy things with a credit card
or with dollar money, paper money like
Dollar
that?
money. I would do credit card.
Credit card? You think credit card is better to?
What did you think?
I think it's better to use the credit card so you can save money.
You won't be surprised to hear that Kobliner recommends cash, so kids are aware they're actually spending when they buy something.
They don't see cash anymore. They see cards being swiped and phones now being swiped with, Venmo and Apple Pay and all these ways of paying for things. An MIT study found that when people use a card, they spend up to twice as much than when they use cash.
As for paying off credit cards to avoid interest, okay, hold that till middle school.
Well, you're 4.
Of course, Kobliner acknowledges that teaching econ to tots isn't always easy.
Why do you now think it's better to buy with cash than a credit card?
Because you're like, I don't know.
But why not start trying sooner rather than later?
Can I have a bite of yours too?
Sometimes the results can be simply delicious.
Thank you so much.
This is economics correspondent Paul Salmon.
And he is reporting from Best Buns Bakery.
Oh, it's delicious.
For your chair and your desk is $5. It is $5. So go ahead and count up your money. $5.
So the foundation of what we're doing in this class is really just having them build confidence with money. So what we do is we just incorporate money within my class. So we pay them for their job and they get to buy things and they get to budget and save money and save for next month and this month. So that's kind of how our class economy started and is still growing and changing and developing even today. I started gradual. I did not start all at once. So how I started within my own classroom is I started with class jobs. At the beginning of the year, we had class jobs, line leader, door holder, teacher helper, eraser, lights person, things of that sort, right? And to reward them for a good job with their class job, I would pay them. So line leader would get $5. Teacher helper would get $10, whatever it may be. And then after I knew that students had at least $15 to $20 within their wallet, I hit them with rent.
I asked how much money always needs to stay in your wallet at all times. $5. Why? Marley, why? Because your rent is $5.
So we had the little conversation of what rent is, how often we pay rent, and how much it is, right? So they had to pay $5 at the beginning of the month. After that, I incorporated a reward list. So we have rewards that they can buy at the end of every 2 weeks when they get paid, ranging in prices from $3, like eating a snack in class when really they're not supposed to $30 where they can be the teacher for the day, right? You can tell the difference within their own ideas about spending money. I have some students that have the bare minimum of like $7, and I have students with $50, right? And they haven't bought rewards in weeks because they want a big reward coming up, or they just are like, I'm okay, I don't need a reward. And that shows different personalities within my classroom as well. Everybody we know spends money differently, so you can see their financial literacy little personalities coming out. add things slowly. Add things slowly. Don't overwhelm them. Don't overwhelm yourself, and really release as much responsibility on the students as possible. Because at this point, my only role in my class economy is putting up a slide for students to pick their jobs. I have a banker. I have people to pass out the wallets. I have, everything is on them. So they're very self-sufficient within their class. And I love watching them blossom and interact with each other. It's amazing. I'm still adding stuff, and it's April, just after spring break, because once I see that my students are confident in one thing, I want to add something else. So I hit them with inflation at the beginning of the year in January, and it was hectic.
Does anybody know what inflation means? Your rent is now $7. Janae, what I will do for you is, because cost of living goes up, unlike what really happens in America, I will also up your pay. You're okay with that? Okay.
I just think that teachers shouldn't count out students of any ages to start learning to be money conscious and to have this financial literacy within the classroom. We may think, oh, they'll learn that in high school or they'll learn that in college. But if we continue to think that, that student may never learn how to budget. That student may never learn how to save. So I thought it was really important, right, to start now, because they can grasp these concepts. They know what money is. They know how to spend money. It's just the concept of how to do it, what's a healthy and safe way of doing it in a controlled area where there's no real life consequence, right? So rent, we're learning how to pay rent now, where, maybe they made a mistake, but they're not getting evicted or getting like a real fine without real life consequences. They're learning it in a safe environment right now.
Hello, and thank you for volunteering to facilitate a day in Young Ameritown. My name is Margarita, and I will be walking you through what to expect during your day and your role as a volunteer. By now, you should have received your shop assignment and the one-page overview of your shop. If you haven't, please contact your student's teacher. First, let me give you a little background about the program. Young Ameritown is a program of Young American Center for Financial Education. Young Americans began when Bill Daniels, a local cable pioneer, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, read an article about a group of students who had been denied a bank loan. Bill thought this was a lost opportunity by the bank. How else could young people learn how to successfully navigate the financial world? As a result, Bill founded the first, and to our knowledge, the only bank specifically designed for youth. Young Americans Bank is state chartered and FDIC insured, and it provides the same products and services as an adult bank: savings accounts, checking accounts, loans, credit cards, debit cards, and CDs. More than 31 years later, Young Americans Bank continues to provide Colorado youth with real banking experience. As Young Americans Bank grew, the community asked for more ways young people could experience hands-on financial literacy. As a result of this demand, the nonprofit Young American Center for Financial Education was established. Today, Young American Center delivers the 4 key programs: Young Ameritown, a hands-on lesson in free enterprise for upper elementary students; International Town, a hands-on program in global economics for middle school students. Youth Biz, a hub for entrepreneurial thinking and action for middle school students. And Spark Change, a service learning and leadership program for elementary, middle, and high school students. In addition, Young American Center offers week-long summer day camps for youth grades 2 through 8, free Money Matters classes for youth ages 4 through 19, and Girl Scout badge classes for all levels of Scouts. We are thrilled that you will be joining us in Young Ameritown. Established in 1990, Young Ameritown teaches banking, business, and economics in a fun and hands-on way. Starting in the classroom, teachers cover 26 to 30 lessons which align with the state and Common Core standards for 4th and 5th grade. These lessons cover basic economics, banking, government, money management, ethics, and philanthropy. These lessons culminate in Young Ameritown, where they can see the real-world application of what they have learned in the classroom. In preparation for Young Ameritown, students apply for a job, go through the interview process, and earn a position within one of the town's 17 shops. Each business employs a manager, an accountant, and other shop-specific positions. Once in town, the students will spend part of the day being producers in their businesses, helping customers and working their jobs, and the other part of the day they will spend as consumers in town, taking a couple of breaks and visiting the various shops in town. Each student will receive one paycheck for the day and will have their very own Young Ameritown checking account and debit card. Students will be able to use their debit card, write checks, and spend Young Ameritown money on the products being sold around town. There are two main goals during the day in Young Ameritown. The first goal is a personal goal. Each student will need to keep track of his or her checking account, taking time to record checks written and debit transactions so that they do not overdraw their account. The second goal is a business goal. Each business has taken out a bank loan to cover their startup costs. By the end of the day, each shop must sell enough goods and/or services in order to pay back their bank loan with 10% interest. Back at school, the teachers will receive a bank statement for each student and business to follow up on these goals to see how well they did. Now let's talk more specifically about your role as a parent volunteer in Young Ameritown. Your students' teachers should have assigned you to help out in a specific shop. You should not be assigned to volunteer in your child's business. Your teacher should have also provided you with a sheet outlining the specific ways in which you can help your assigned shop. Every shop has a manager who is in charge. They fill in for employees on break, manage the break schedule, set up a shop website, and organize any philanthropic donation made in their shop's name. The shop accountants are second in command and manage their shop's finances. They are responsible for paying business expenses via electronic funds transfers, keeping track of shop income, and making shop deposits. Once the accounting work is finished, they help run the shop. Your shop outline will explain the other shop-specific positions and other commonly asked questions. Please communicate with your teacher about which location your school will be visiting, Cherry Creek or Belmar, and the student's time of arrival. We ask that parent volunteers arrive 30 minutes prior to the bus's arrival so that you can familiarize yourself with your assigned shop and receive shop-specific training. Once the school arrives, the program will ideally last up to 4 hours. Please bring a sack lunch. Note that there is not a refrigerator or microwave available for your lunch. On arrival, you will receive 2 coupons to spend in town. As a parent volunteer, you do not have a specified break time, and instead, you can gauge how your shop is doing and pop in and out as necessary. Your shop will also have an assigned staff person who will be helping many of the shops in town. This staff person will be your point person for the entire day and can help with any questions you may have. Your role as a volunteer is that of a business consultant. Keep in mind that Young Ameritown is a learning experience for the students, and sometimes the best way to answer their questions is by asking them another question to lead them to the answer. We want student participants to feel empowered to make their own decisions, so most times a more hands-off approach is best. When students first arrive in their shops, they will have a to-do list to accomplish as they learn the ropes of their shop. Directing them to this to-do list and helping the students manage their break times is a great example of how you can get involved. Each shop is unique in its role in the Young Ameritown economy, and the sheet provided by your teacher will highlight specific ways that you will be able to help. When planning for your visit to Young Ameritown, we ask that you put your cell phones on silent so that they don't disrupt the student's day. We encourage you to take pictures. However, we ask that they be candid action shots of students working as opposed to staged or posed shots. We also ask that you don't bring any children that are not participating in Young Ameritown. We also ask that you refrain from bringing real-life experiences into the day of town, such as staging a robbery in the bank or pretending to be a beggar in the town square. While these situations might occur in the real world, they can quickly distract students from their Ameritown goals and hinder their experience. After Young Ameritown, we will invite you to take a short survey in town about your experience and to provide any suggestions or feedback that you have for us. We also encourage you to get involved by opening a bank account for your child, signing up for a summer camp, and supporting the work that Young American Center does to bring hands-on financial education to more than 67,000 young people a year. You can also donate using our newest feature, Text to Give. Just text YOUNG to 243-725 and follow the link. Thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar and for your willingness to participate in Young Ameritown as a volunteer. We look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us.
The 12-year-old Yanni Williams started her sensational business. The 12-year-old Yanni Williams started her sensational business when she was only 8 years old. Yanni hand makes all her scrub sensations. For Yanni, owning her own business is the perfect way for her to spend and spread joy to customers and the community. And we have Yanni and Yanni's Scrub Sensations with us today to give us some insight on being a young entrepreneur. I'm so excited to meet you. Congratulations on your budding business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about the Scrub Sensations.
I'm Yanni Williams. I'm 12 years old and I've been in business for 4 years. My scrub sensation is where I sell sugar scrubs, bath salts, body oils, coffee scrubs, lip scrubs, and gift sets. My scrubs, my products are a 2-in-1. They hydrate and moisturize your skin, and after you use my product, your skin will be hydrated and smooth.
Oh my gosh, you're speaking my language. Not only do I love scrubs on a daily basis, but they are so good for your skin, male or female, keep you hydrated, especially in this Colorado weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what motivated you to get started in this business?
Well, my mom and my dad really motivated me to start this business because they put a lot of effort in helping me with my business. And when I was younger, my dad used to sell sugar scrubs.
Oh, really?
And when I got old enough, he decided that I should sell them too because he kind of had a recipe that I could use.
Absolutely. Well, why not? Don't let it go to waste. So what do you have here? Tell me what you've got.
So I have my 2 bestseller sugar scrubs. I have coffee and lavender. If you would like, you can smell them.
I would love to smell them.
My personal favorite would be coffee. It's like a more get up in the morning kind of vibe.
Okay, and I love that. I gotta have my coffee. Coffee's also really good for inflammation, is it not?
Yes.
Okay, what are some other benefits of, let's say, coffee and lavender? Lavender is good for relaxation.
Yeah, coffee could be good for the morning. Instead of drinking coffee every morning, you can just take a shower and rinse off with coffee scrub.
Yeah.
And kind of get you replenished for the day. And lavender is kind of like a after work chill down in the shower. And
I love
relax.
this. You are such an old soul, aren't you? You've got it good. You're good. Got it going on good. Tell me what some of the challenges have been in starting your own business.
Some challenges I have in starting my own business would be balancing school and my business.
Sure, that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
You've got to do some work, but you've also got to make sure your schoolwork's on point at all
Yeah.
times. Yeah. So, what's your favorite part about having your own business?
My favorite part of having my own business is making money and saving money for my future, and also seeing the joy on people's faces as they come back for more scrubs.
I love that. I love that. Let's talk about your bank account that you have at Young America's Bank. They've been a huge help to you. So tell me about that bank account and how that works.
Well, I have a bank account and I've been taking a lot of classes they provide to learn about money, and I also have been in many marketplaces. So my bank account really helped me save and like get some money when I grow older.
Yeah, and really so good for other young people like you who have a dream, have a passion, and have a business, want to save money for their future. I'm so proud of you. This is fantastic, and I can't wait to buy some from you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, Yanni's Scrub Sensations are perfect for any gift or just a treat to yourself. Support Yanni and help her business grow by visiting her Facebook page, facebook.com/maya.lee.9. Young America's Bank is the only bank in the world that's not just for kids, actually. Through July 4th, kids can earn up to $500 in their bank account. That's $50 in their bank account by participating in the Pigs Around Town scavenger hunt. Visit the Belmar branch, located just east of the Belmar Shopping Center, to get started. Offer while supplies last. So proud of you, Yanni.
Okay, fathers, what are your thoughts? Fathers, this, you have no idea. This excites me. This so excites me. Financial literacy of our daughters. You're seeing the entire village at work, teachers, parents, the community. It takes a village to raise our kids. Look at the kids, man. Gotta love the kids, man. Gotta love the kids. And just, I remember, I'm grateful and thankful for living in the state of Colorado. For our children, it's a FDIC, Federally Deposit Insurance Company. That means that all the accounts are covered up to $250,000. Federal Deposit Insurance Company. That's FDIC. So, I mean, what these kids learn, I remember my daughters went to a few of the summer boot camps for kids, and just amazing. I mean, I got to tell you, when my girls were little, oh, they were so blessed. So blessed. My girls were blessed their entire lives. Birth to 18, my girls will tell you, they know they are blessed by their mother and father. They know they are blessed. So you're seeing the village in action, fathers. And I just felt I needed, and it was necessary to make this live stream. You know, financial literacy is important. And when it's coming from your parents, your father taking the lead, I mean, these kids light up. And our baby girls, they won't get enough of. Oh, I got the hiccups. Excuse me. They will not get enough of it. So I believe in letting the professionals do their thing, you know. And like I said, we have Young Americans Bank here in Colorado. This video is actually probably about 5 years old. So I think Young Americans Bank has been around about 36, 37 years in the state of Colorado, somewhere around there. But all my girls, they benefited from it. You know, once they turn 18, they closed their accounts and moved on to other accounts, you know, because they're adult women now. So, but the fact that by the grace of God, we were able to expose our daughters early, like I said, 5 years of age, just, it helped me tremendously. And I'm grateful and just thankful for the resources that were afforded to and available to my daughters. And I've never taken anything in my life for granted. I believe in using resources through education, information, and instruction. And when the village is involved with rearing our children, great things will happen for them. And like I said, kids light up. Kids learn about financial literacy, and kids are smart by nature. They just are. They're curious, and they ask a lot of questions. But like I said, when you have these resources available to you, you have to take advantage of them, fathers of daughters. They're there. So we have no excuse today. And even if there's not a Young Americans Bank in every state, some banks have a form of Americans, have a form of Young Americans Bank within their branch or their main bank, and branches fall under the umbrella of their main bank. So plentiful opportunities. I love the teacher teaching the concept of the economy in their classroom. And, we got to invest in our babies early. We do. And my girls are great. I just like rocking with them now. They're adult women. So I just love seeing them, hanging out with them, and just enjoying them. My job, I tell my daughters all the time, as adult women, my job is to embrace you as your father, not to embarrass you. My job is to embrace you, not to embarrass you. So I do a great job of embracing my daughters. I will never, ever embarrass my daughters on social media or any of this crazy stuff you see parents doing with their children. It's crazy. So, okay, fathers, we have 4 more videos, and then we're going to finish up this live stream. All right. Appreciate you. Oh, okay, fathers. 2 videos are on financial literacy for middle school students, and 2 videos are on financial literacy for high school students. Just wanted to share that. Those are the next 4 videos, 2 and 2.
By the time students reach middle school, they have already developed the capacity to understand complex economic concepts, make financial judgments, and assign value to purchases and brands. Yet, the majority of today's students don't have the money management skills they need to navigate the modern financial world. The Mass Mutual Foundation has partnered with EverFi to develop the Future Smart digital course, which offers critical financial literacy for middle school students across the United States, absolutely free of charge. Future Smart empowers students to effectively manage their finances, make sound decisions, and become financially responsible. After taking an initial financial personality quiz, students are elected mayor of their very own town, charged with helping the townspeople navigate personal financial challenges. Through a story-based narrative and interactive activities, students learn to make real-life decisions about their own personal finances, as well as how to achieve important goals around topics like saving money, education and career planning, and budgeting. Visit everfi.com/K-12 to learn more and get started with this free resource today.
Hello, welcome to Financial Literacy, a quick reference for middle school students, brought to you by eCampus Tours financialliteracy.com. What is financial literacy? It's the knowledge that's necessary for a person to make financially responsible decisions that are integral to our everyday lives. It's also the ability to understand how money works in the world, how someone earns money, how that person manages it, how he or she invests it and turns it into more, and how that person donates it to help others. Let's talk about the importance of saving money. There's this idea about paying yourself first, which is that when you get money from a paycheck or your allowance or any other gift money, you put some of that money away in a savings account before you pay your expenses or spend that money on things you might want. There are several benefits to saving money. One is that you'll learn to manage your money better. Another is that you can start saving money towards your goals, maybe your first car or college or your first apartment. Another benefit is that it leaves less money to spend on unnecessary things that you don't really need. You'll also secure money for emergencies if you have an emergency pop up. And finally, when you save money in a savings account, you will earn interest on that money. There are several ways to pay for your expenses and other things you'd like to purchase. You could always use cash. That's money that is in the form of coins and bills. You could use a debit card. This card subtracts money directly from your checking account. You could use a credit card. This card is like a personal loan, but you have to be careful to pay your balance at the end of each month to avoid interest. A check is a paper form of payment that is used to transfer money from your checking account to a person or company to pay your bills. Or there are several mobile apps. These apps, such as PayPal, Venmo, Apple Pay, and others, are linked to your checking account or credit card account. You always have to be careful, though, to not spend more money than you have in your accounts. Now we'll cover the basics of budgets. A budget is a plan that balances the money you have coming in, also known as income, with the money you have going out, known as expenses. To determine your budget, first off, you add up all of your income. This could be money that you've earned at your part-time job. It could be allowance or other gift money. Then you add up all of your expenses, the things you're spending money on, maybe your phone, clothes, and other things. Then you look at those two numbers and you ask yourself, is your income greater than your expenses? Do you have money left over after you've bought all the things you need or want? If the answer is yes, then you can save some of that money. But if the answer is no, you need to do one of two things. Either decrease your expenses or find ways to increase your income. You could ask yourself, could I cut down eating out so much? Could I maybe cut back on buying some clothes? Or could I maybe perform odd jobs to earn extra money in my neighborhood? Things like mowing a lawn or babysitting. It's a great idea to set financial goals for yourself. Your goals are more likely to be met if you set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. In most cases, you can take the amount you want to save and divide it by the number of months to have a goal set and in place. For instance, if you'd like to buy a bike that costs $120 and you'd like to have it within 6 months, you would divide $120 by 6 months, and you would find out that you would need to save $20 per month. If you save that $20 per month for 6 months, at the end of that time period, you would achieve your goal of purchasing that bike. It's important to identify and write down your financial goals. A goal is considered short-term if it is less than 1 year, and it's a long-term goal if it is to be achieved after more than 1 year. Here are some goal-setting questions you can ask yourself. How much do I need to save? How much do I have now? And how much more do I need? Thanks for joining us today to talk all about financial literacy. Please follow us at eCampus Tours on any of these social media platforms.
"30 states require high schools to offer personal finance classes, but only 17 of them require students to take one of those classes in order to graduate. And one of those states is Vermont. That's where CNBC senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson went. Sharon, to look at one teacher's fight for financial education. And wow.
Yeah, it is a wow. You know, when I went there last week and I spent a morning with an inspiring and devoted teacher, I found out she's on a mission. Her high school has about 200 students from many different countries speaking more than 20 different languages. And she is ready to teach personal finance to every one of them. Students at Winooski High School are required to take a personal finance course to learn about money management before they graduate.
How to build your credit.
Applying for college and loans.
How to write a resume or cover letter.
You can have some fun with that.
Courtney Paquette.
And you're going to have to buy all of the things that you want. You also want to think about how long we have to work to pay for those things.
Key steps in budgeting. Public high schools in Vermont has stalled in the State House. You've been advocating for personal finance to be a standalone class that all high school students have to take in order to graduate. Why do you think that's such an important requirement?
I see the impact every single day in my class. So every single day in my class, students are engaged, they're asking questions, they're bringing this information home, they're applying it to their own lives, and they report to me that they're making better financial decisions because of it.
And research shows Paquette students are not alone. Professor Carly Urban has studied the outcomes.
When personal finance is required in high school, you see improvements in credit scores, you see reductions in delinquency rates, you see fewer payday borrowing choices, you see less reliance on credit cards.
In 8 states, all high school students are required to take a semester-long personal finance course before graduation. And 10 states are in the process of implementing that requirement.
After taking this class, it has helped me to start saving my money and to start investing right now.
Students in Winooski say that everyone could benefit from a financial literacy class. Do you all see yourselves as advocates for personal finance now?
Yeah, I would think so.
It's one of the few classes that no matter what you're going to do, it can apply to your life in some sort of aspect.
And it can help to improve your financial well-being too. You know, many polls show that popular support for financial education definitely exists, but many students may not have access to personal finance classes. It may be due to budget constraints or other curriculum demands, but they need this education, and many people are looking for free resources. CNBC has them for teachers, for students, for everyone to learn more about budgeting, saving, and investing, including a free 8-week newsletter. You can sign up for Money 101 newsletter at cnbc.com/Money 101, or just use the QR code there on your screen.
That's awesome. A great idea, because I was thinking about sort of the Robin Hood and the retail trader effect, and a lot of, high schoolers and think that we're trading stocks. But even there, where, that's just one aspect of personal finance. I mean, a lot of this is broad basic stuff, credit score. I don't know if they get into that, but these are really important things to know early on.
They absolutely get into credit scores, and that's very important to them to be able to build credit. They know how important that is, but they also know they don't have one yet, but they want their parents to have a better credit score.
True.
And they know the impact that can have for borrowing as they're looking for college, toward college and toward other things after high school. So that is definitely a topic that was really of interest to them. And it is important to learn about investing, but you have to learn how to manage money day to day as well, and maybe even first, so that you then have that disposable income that you can put into investing after you've paid your bills.
Anything, did they surprise you with anything in terms of the apps they were using or the kind of financial, the places they were going to meet their needs?
Well, what really surprised me was the lesson that I was there to learn with the students, which is how do I pay for my first apartment, the things that I want inside of that apartment? How many hours does it take me to work? To be able to afford the mattress, the bed frame, the microwave with all the different gadgets on it because I want the top of the line.
Right.
And they were strategic in saying, I don't need a desk. I'll just work at the kitchen table. I'd rather get this gadget or this thing. So it was really interesting to see them work that out and figure out how much money after tax income, because they factored that into, which a lot of people forget about, how much then is it going to cost them to buy what they want for their first apartment. So that was an excellent lesson that she came up with.
So simple and so powerful.
So important.
Sharon, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Sharon Epperson.
Would you rather drive to work if it cost you $150 per month to park? Or would you rather catch the metro and it's only going to cost you $25? While students may not need to know an algebraic expression to get through life's events, they will have to know how to budget their money, what good credit is. Every day of their life, every student will have to face making a financial decision. All right, everyone sit down.
Money is traditionally something that's not talked about. It's taboo. And so what we do with a lot of the assignments in financial literacy is try to start some conversations with families.
Good morning. You guys are working in pairs today, so find
If you look at today's economy, more than half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 1 in 3 households don't even have a written budget.
When we first started learning about financial literacy, I was definitely scared because I was like, whoa, I'm growing up. But it's pretty beneficial, especially if you're trying to get a debit card, first job, eventually building credit.
I started working at the age of 14. So I pay some bills with my parents whenever they need help. Class has helped me learn like what I should look at when I get my check.
I cover a myriad of topics: investing, depository institutions, debt management. So today we're going to be talking about managing your money. This is called the 20 bean game. The beans will represent your salary, and you're going to have to decide where I am going to spend this money. So you're going to be adulting for a minute. Students were given 2 sheets where they had to allocate beans to certain categories, 6 of which were mandatory, such as housing, clothing, food.
Each category has a couple of options. If you want to eat at home, it's 1 bean. If you want to go out all the time, it's 3 beans.
Do we want like our own house? Do we want to share with our family? Sure. So we're going cheapo on there?
You're not going to be using beans, obviously. Like, you're going to be using money, but it's showing you how to like budget your money.
Okay, time's up. We're now getting ready to start round 2. I have a spin wheel here.
So basically the wheel would spin and then like something would happen.
Tell me when to stop. Your microwave broke and you need to replace it. Take off 1 bean.
What? Hold on.
From anywhere. You have to decide where to take a bean. Make sure that your star categories are still covered.
Take that out.
Okay, my wheel is going around again. Your car needs new tires. If you do not have a car, you do nothing.
I guess we're just gonna have to go with no phone.
No, but like we need a phone.
Okay,
we'll just move to limited data.
Okay. Stop. Broken leg.
Wow, fun.
If you do not have health insurance, take off 3 beans. You all didn't have health insurance. Why?
We didn't think we would break our leg.
You didn't. That's why you have insurance. All right, let's go to one more scenario.
Stop.
You picked up a part-time job in the gig economy. You may be doing Lyft, DoorDash. Add 2 beans anywhere on your board. I like what you said, Logan. Logan said, do we learn? Do we get health insurance now? The students were able to see these are decisions that their parents, their guardians have to make on a daily basis. How many of you thought that you wanted to live on your own? After playing this game, how many of you still believe you want to live on your own?
I changed my mind about owning a car because you had to have auto insurance, pay for gas.
Out of all my classes, financial literacy might be the one class that I think I need the most when I become an adult.
I had a student tell me, I understand taxes now, and I can go home and talk to my parents about it and explain to them what they need to do. It is my most fervent hope these students go out into the world with a greater understanding of how money truly affects every aspect of their life and make wise decisions about using that money.
Okay, fathers, this excites me. This excites me. Fathers, I encourage you, please subscribe, like, share. Share this video with all fathers. This live stream here is very, very important. As you can see, fathers, when we teach our daughters, this begins at home. This is where it all starts, fathers. We have to teach them financial literacy at home. That's where it begins. And then when the village becomes part of it, they do their part in the community. That's what the village is, right? And if you start at 5, 6, 7, even 3, like the first video that started at 3 years of age with the babies, by the time they become teenagers, they have a full understanding of economics and how that works. And I'm telling you, I remember all of my daughters, they all became CPR and first aid certified when they were 10. And they all started babysitting when they were 12. My daughters are masters at saving money. And I did that for a reason. My daughters have been working since they were all 12 years old. So they understood how money worked. They completely understood how money worked. I never worried about my daughters and their spending habits and their budgeting because I exposed them early at 5. I mean, if you listen to them high school students, for a lot of them, this is their very first time being exposed to financial literacy. Listen to them. They're like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay at the crib. Yeah, you may want to. You know, I remember my first home when I graduated from college in 1993 with my bachelor's degree. Graduated in May. My wife and myself, we bought our first home at that time, 1993. And then, 1993, I graduated. And then we bought the first house in September here in Colorado. That house was $53,000 in 1993. That same house today is worth about $700,000-$800,000. Crazy. That's the economy we're in. So for millennials and Gen Z, and then Gen Alpha, who's coming behind Gen Z, Gen X parents, we can't dismiss that. Our kids are in a totally different economy than what we had. The days of HUD homes and $53,000 homes, that's over. I can tell you, in the state of Colorado, cost of living is expensive as hell. Rent, $2,000. Mortgages can be in excess of $3,000, $4,000. So kids are living longer with their parents. That's just what it is. All my daughters they're out on their own. They're doing their professional thing. God bless them. My daughters know they could always live with me though. I miss them. So, but I'm just saying, fathers, it's a totally different world today. So we can't dismiss what millennials and Gen Z are having to deal with. It's a totally different economy, and it's not fair because every generation has to deal with their demons. We had to deal with ours. Millennials have to deal with theirs. Gen Z have to deal with theirs, and Gen Alpha behind them are going to have to deal with theirs. Totally different economies. I think in my lifetime I've been through, if I can count, 10 to 15 recessions in my lifetime since 1965. I was born May 31st, 1965. So I think I've been through about 10 or 15 recessions. I remember the housing crisis of the 90s in the early 2000s. You know, when we first got our house, it was a buyer's market in 1993. You know, we had just come out of, I started college in 1989. We had just come out of the SNL scandals back in college. Back then, SNL, that whole situation was just crazy. So I've seen a lot in my lifetime. So like I said, I'm proud of all my daughters for doing their thing, and God bless them. So, okay, fathers, just want to share financial literacy, teaching financial literacy to our baby girls. We have to do it. Okay, there's too many resources out there. Like I said, like, share, subscribe on this video. Share it, fathers. I'm a resource for fathers of daughters, grow dads. If you come across my YouTube channel, this is my 70th live stream. So I live stream every week, fathers. And all you have to do is look at the topics that I cover. There's not another YouTube channel doing what I'm doing. I'm telling you, yes, there are YouTube channels that are out there that are dealing with fathers of daughters, but they ain't breaking it down like I'm breaking it down. They don't go as deep as I go, because I've been through every stage of development with my daughters. They're adult women, you know, and I have 30 years of experience of working directly with children and families. So I have a totally different lens than all these other YouTube channels. I do. All right, fathers, this is my way of giving back, and I appreciate you. Okay, I will see you next week for another live stream. Appreciate you. Love them babies, kiss them babies, tell them you love them, show them you love them, fathers. Continue to provide that protection and safety for your baby girls, for your kids. All right, fathers. Mis amigos, hasta la próxima semana. Paz. I'm out, fathers. Till next week. Peace.